Hi friends, it's Jess with our Bipolar. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, just a little bit about me. I have bipolar 1 and I was diagnosed 26 years ago when I was a sophomore in college. Today, I want to talk a little bit about working and having bipolar. Not that I have the answers, but I just want to talk about it and open the discussion. Before we get into that, I will ask you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, like this video, comment, I love to hear from you. And also, I love to hear from you on Instagram and Facebook as well. So if you're on any of those platforms, just find me on there. Okay, so I'm really frustrated and this happens quite a bit. I work full time. And when you have bipolar, work is something that can be extremely stressful. I mean, it's stressful for anyone, but if you have bipolar, it can really cause problems. And I know I am lucky to be able to work. I work full time, I'm able to do that. And I haven't always been able to do that. There was a time when I started working freelance a long time ago, and that meant I was working, less than part-time, I would say. But that was a time in my life where I was really having issues and I hadn't gotten on meds that were working and that whole thing. So now, since then, for about 18 years, I've been working full-time. And I've been working at the same company. I work right now as an assistant managing editor for scientific journals. I work on 2 large journals that are peer reviewed. And my job is really good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I really enjoy my job. I find it to be easy and I don't work with the public. I work with coworkers, and for the most part, I have had amazing coworkers who are just so easy to work with. But I have had another video about working and how I'm able to do that. I'll link it up here and also in the description box. So work can just be extremely stressful and overwhelming. And there's lots of things in life that can be like that, right? But if you are working full time, it is always there. And like even right now at work, I'm not having any major issues. I don't even have all that much going on at work, but just having to do it is really stressful. And it can bring on bipolar symptoms, and it has for me. There have been times when I was overwhelmed at work and it brought on hypomania or it brought on depression. And then it's like, what do you do? Because you kind of have to work through it a lot of the time. I mean, I will take time off when I can, and I know then I'll start thinking like, should I take FMLA? What should I do? And in America, and I'm sure in other countries, it really isn't easy to get disability. And even if you do, I mean, you're not getting paid all that much. Of course, compared to my salary, it would be a lot less. And I have a family. I have my husband and my daughter. My husband is a teacher, which I think is a very honorable, reputable profession. But, in America at least, teachers do not make a whole lot of money. So yeah, I am the breadwinner in our family. And that is a lot of stress. And in some ways, it can feel like a burden. And, like I was talking about with disability, I'm pretty sure in America, you have to show, to try to even apply for disability, that you have been out of work for at least a year. And even then, I know plenty of people who have been denied disability and have tried applying more than once, and some people have not gotten it. So what is it like to work while you're having symptoms? So for me, if I'm having mania symptoms, hypomania, I haven't had full-blown mania at this company, but it can be really hard to work. I mean, at least for me, if I'm having like racing thoughts, all the hypomania symptoms, easily distracted, flight of ideas, all this stuff is going on in my head. And that makes it really hard to focus on work. Or sometimes like I'll go to another screen on my computer. I'm like, why did I come here? What am I doing? Like that would happen throughout the whole day. So then what ends up happening for me at least is work has become overwhelming. I have to cut back on other things in my life. And that's hard because those are the things I really enjoy. I do enjoy my job to an extent, but I don't want to cut back on time with my family. I don't want to not be able to go and do fun things with my friends. Those are the things I'm going to probably cut back on if I'm becoming so stressed out at work that I'm either afraid I'm going to have symptoms or I am having symptoms. So now everything else gets put on hold. I get tired of this. I mean, don't you get tired of it? Like again, I am grateful to be able to work full time. I understand that there are people who have bipolar who are not able to work full-time, part-time at all even. And I know there are a lot of people who really want to be able to do that and miss that. And then I also know other people with bipolar who have accepted that they are on disability and they are enjoying their life, and moving on, and work is something that is just in the past and has to be in the past for their health. It's confusing, right? Because work is difficult, and it is really difficult to do this day in and day out when you have a serious mental illness. But then at the same time, I think having this job, this career, does give me some purpose and fulfillment. And it's motivating. And I'm proud of myself for having done it, despite the fact that I totally understand if someone else is unable to. I mean, I've seen the spectrum. I've seen the spectrum of people who have bipolar disorder, and we're not all the same. We don't all have the illness to the same extent. We don't all respond to medication in the same way. And I think people need to respect that and understand that everyone is different. I mean, we all know this, right? And the same goes for everyone who has bipolar disorder. So yeah, on one hand, I can be proud of myself for working full-time, working hard, enjoying my job to a certain extent. And on the other hand, I can feel limited. I can feel limited, like this is the career I had to do because other careers were out of my reach because of bipolar. Like, for instance, there was a time when I wanted to be a doctor. I do know people who have bipolar who are doctors, but for me personally, it felt out of my reach in terms of stress and time and schooling and things like that. There are other professions that I was interested in, and I also felt were out of my reach. And it's okay. It's okay to find something that you're able to do. And that's what I did. And being in journal publishing has largely been a great experience. But at the same time, I know that I can only go so far with it, and that's okay. Like, for instance, I'm an assistant managing editor. At this point, I do not wish to move up anymore, to keep climbing the career ladder. this is where I'm comfortable. This is the amount of stress I can handle. I don't want to be managing my own journal. I don't really want to have people working under me that have to report to me. Like, I've done that before, and for me, it was just like, no, thank you. It was just too hard. And it was hard for me personally, and then hard on my bipolar, having all that interaction. So I don't really know what I'm hoping to gain from this. I just wanted to open the discussion, talk to me about if you work, if you don't work, and if you do, you know, what is it like for you? Is it really stressful? Is it not? Is it kind of just pretty easy for you? I hope it is. But let me know if work ever causes symptoms, and how do you handle symptoms while working, or do you? Let me know. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.